What the hell? Why does that look like poop? Oh, Poland, yo, you right. I remember you from Poland. I might forget some stuff, Boombox. So if I ask you guys like repeat question, that's because that's a result from all the weed I smoked back in college. Like I seriously have like memory issues, bro. Ask my OG viewers. Like I don't even remember like who I am sometimes. You know, like it got kind of cold recently in Singapore. I don't know, is this because of the rain? But it got kind of cold to the point that I'm shivering. And that's not a good look because like when I go to Canada or some really cold ass country, I'm a suffer, bro. I think like my body is like really used to tropical countries. So places I would really thrive on are like Hawaii, Indonesia, maybe Egypt. You like to be cold? Yo, what's up, GSNK? You live in Belgium? What's the temperature right now in where you live, bro? And what's up, man? Welcome to the stream. Man, I haven't actually used this move. Like, you gotta be running at a guy, but like, whenever you're fighting people here in Japan, you're fighting them in enclosed areas. So it's like, I don't really have the space to be pulling up on a guy like that. Look at this shit, man. Isn't like Majima the original Joker, right? If people made a movie about Majima Goro, people would say like it's a ripoff from the Joker. 20 degrees in Belgium. Damn, it's cold. Speaking about Belgium, bro, the only things I know about Belgium is the chocolates. When I was a little kid, my dad would travel to different countries and he would bring back like different kinds of chocolate. And there was like one time he brought back like a box and he said, oh, these are Belgium chocolates. And they all have like weird shapes to them. They had like a seahorse, you know, a shell, things like that. And I ate the whole box, right? And then my dad, like, the next day was like, hey, man, where did I put that Belgium chocolate? And I was so freaked out. I was like, man, my dad gonna whoop my ass. But I have a compulsion problem. When I start something, I can't stop. Won't stop. Can't stop, won't stop. You can say it's curious since they don't even grow coca trees, but their product is great. Yeah, that's the thing, right? I think, like, the people of Belgium really appreciate chocolate at such a high level that they want to perfect it. It's the same thing with Japan, right? If you look at Japan and you think about like why their sneaker culture is like poppin', it's like the people over there didn't start the sneaker culture directly, right? But because they were so inspired by it, they decided to keep it alive. So a lot of things have been like started in like kind of like revived from Japan, bro. Like even like the Jordan sneaker culture, like people were going to Japan and they were finding like joints on the store shelves. Like they were finding Jordan 1s, Jordan 3s, things like that. You know, as much as I would love to have like 4 seasons to, you know, double up, there isn't, man. We only have tropical weather here. It does get cold towards December. Like sometimes it gets so cold here in Singapore during December. Like our floors, which is like usually tile, will get like really cold. And like you step on the floor and it's like, man, you got to be wearing house slippers. But currently I would say the weather in Singapore it's all right, you know. It's hot, but it's also cool. It's like it's a lot like the weather you feel in Hawaii. And I think it's great because, you know, like one of the benefits of not having a 4th season is like homeless people don't get to like experience the winter. Like, cause I think like the winter is especially harsh for homeless people and animals that are like strays. And you know, ever since I was a kid, I've always wanted to move to California. I had an opportunity to actually study in an art school in Pasadena, California. Like, I got accepted. But the school fees was $1 million. My dad could afford it, right? But I told my dad, like, hey, man, like, I don't want to be spending $1 million and, you know, not finding jobs and like having to pay back all that debt and whatever. Like, my dad had no problems with it. And so I decided to come to Singapore. Hi, Daily. How's life? It's been a while since I've seen you. Purito says Hawaii is amazing. I could easily live there. Have you been? I've always wanted to go to Hawaii, bro. Like, even to this day, I kind of lost like my interest in Japan, but I've never lost my interest in Hawaii. I don't know whether it is like all that subtle programming I experienced as a kid, where like every cartoon that I would watch on TV would have like a Hawaii like themed thing, right? Like your characters would go to Hawaii and they would start playing that Hawaiian music. Dragon says I have a Swedish dad and he's like, if your eyebrows are not frozen, you're not cold yet. Yo, Swedish dads, man. Is your dad hot? No homo. You know what they say, right? Like everyone in Sweden is like a 10 in every other country. Like what's the deal with like Swedish people being so good looking? There's like this theory that like all the Vikings like kidnapped the beautiful women and brought them back to Sweden. Katie says, oh, I know it's been a while. I decided to take on learning a new language, so I've been studying. No problem, Katie. Like, you can come back whenever you feel like. So even if you guys come back like 6 months later to a year and I haven't seen you that long, it's nothing has changed, bro. We all friends. No, you're good. What language are you trying to pick up though? Let me guess. You're trying to learn that Spanish because you live in Texas. Oh, my exes live in Texas. Harsh condition produce tough people. I agree. Dude, I ain't gonna lie though. Like Swedish food is kind of ass sometimes, right? Like how often do you go to another country and like there's a restaurant that sells specifically Swedish food? Like you could go to America, like the most remote parts of it, and you still have like Chinese food, Vietnamese food, French, you know, Mexican food. But when have you ever seen like a restaurant that is like, yo, we serve like Norwegian food? That ain't gonna happen, right? Like you guys beautiful and all, but your food is ass. Really, bro? Herrings with rye bread, man, that's like some sad ass shit, man. You know what they say, right? Like oppressed countries produce like the best food ever. If your country has never been oppressed, your food is ass. Daily says you're learning Korean actually. If I go back to work, it'll be the most beneficial language next to Mandarin. I'm trying to learn Mandarin, but I ain't gonna try to even like read the words. Because like Mandarin, if like you don't know that specific like symbol, you don't know that word. And I can't deal with that. It's too much memorization in that shit, man. Yeah, and Korean has an alphabet system, so I think it's like way more advanced. Dragon says Nordic food is fish and potatoes, and that's about it. I love it though. I love eating like fish and potatoes, but like I'm talking about like delicacy where you will have restaurants around the world like, hey bro, we serve Norwegian food, we serve Swedish food. I'm not gonna lie though, I enjoy like going to IKEA and eating their like chicken wings and their meatballs, you know? Now I went with a friend one time, right? And he was eating the meatballs. I told him like, hey dude, did you know that there were horse meat in that shit? And he shot the food out of his mouth and it hit my shirt. And it was totally my fault because I shouldn't have been telling him that while he was eating. Oh, let me take a look at that. Some delicacy from your country? See that, boy. What the hell? Why does that look like poop? Come on, man. You better not be sharing them like disgusting pictures in my chat, boombox. Blood sausage, yeah, I heard about it, man. But you guys gotta understand, like German people got you guys beat on that, right? Like German people, like sausages are the best. Nobody ain't heard about some Poland sausage. But Poland has like one of the best exports in the world if you think about it. And the #1 export which got people really hyped is Cyberpunk 2077, baby. Because CD Projekt Red is in Poland, and you know Polish people, how they do, you know, they be creating like the greatest video games of all time, man. It ain't your blood sausage, bro. You gotta recognize, like, you guys aren't all about food. You guys are about video games. You gotta stick at what you're good at. You gotta embrace, you know, your good shit and forget about the stuff that you suck at. So what do you think about The Witcher? The Witcher is like one of the greatest games of all time, bro. Like The Witcher to this day is like the most streamed game I've ever streamed. I think I put in like, I don't know, 600 hours in Witcher 3 and I haven't even finished that game. Witcher is cool, man. I even got the books. You know how big of a fan I am of Witcher? I even know how to pronounce the name of the author. Andrzej Sapkowski. Yo, I could be speaking Polish right now, man. Andrzej Sapkowski. Yo, man. But he a bitch though, because he got a really bad deal when he first signed with CD Projekt Red, you know, and then when he found out like the game was popping, the game was making like so much money, he tried to come back and sue them and say like, hey man, give me my paper. But I think it's kind of resolved right now. I think they settled it out of court, and you know, he's still working with them. And you know, I think that's all what's all about, right? Like you still have him on as a consultant. You know, also shout outs to the Netflix series. Do you like the Witcher series? You gotta like your Witcher series, Boombox. If you don't like the stuff that your own countrymen are making, that shit is treason, bro. I about to call the cops on your ass. He wrote the script for one part of the game. Yeah, the thing with the series, the games, and the books is the games are based off the books, right? But the games have like their own story. Like the writers who are writing the script for the game are also equally as talented as Andre. And I think that's tight. But it would be really sad if like, you know, Andrzej Sapkowski doesn't have any input about the games, because like I think you should always respect the guy who like thought about the whole world in the first place. You know why people really got into the books was because of how beautiful the Witcher games were. Like, if you go to the Witcher world and you see, like, the landscape, the different kind of, like, monsters, like, wraiths, like, fucking chimeras and shit like that, you'll be like, oh my god, this world is rich. Daily says the Witcher Netflix series was really hard to watch for me. Couldn't get into it at first, but finished it. Okay. That's because you gotta be at a certain intellect and intelligence to appreciate that. Now, I would recommend you play the game. You can just start with Witcher 3, or if you want to really start from the first one, you can do that too. But I think, like, you might be right. I wouldn't be as into the Netflix series if I didn't play the games and if I didn't read the books, right? You know, I only read, like, video game, like, novels. That's kind of weird, right? Like, ever since I was a kid. And it's kind of funny, right? Like, I was dating a girl, like, many years back, and she was like, hey man, do you read? Oh yeah, I'm a reader, man. You gotta pull up to my house and check out my library. And she was like, all right, I'm gonna come. And when she saw my library and they were all like video game related novels, she was like, you only read like stuff related to video games. And I'm like, sure, of course. Don't you know the adventures of Master Chief and the Spartans? Come on, man. That's our modern mythology. Better respect my mythology, man. And even Star Wars. I used to read a lot of Star Wars books. And so it was like really sad for me whenever like George Lucas disavowed the entire like fucking like books and say like, yeah, that shit happened in like a different like universe, man. It's not related to like the movies. And I was like, fuck you, George. Witcher was basically Harry Potter for quite a bit for kids before the games were even a thing. Really? Why is it like Harry Potter? It's like so different from Harry Potter, bro. Witcher is like not for kids because they in the books people be fucking and killing all the time, right? And that's the other thing I have a problem with Harry Potter. Harry Potter is trash because you're gonna tell me you're gonna have like a dormitory of like adolescent kids that have hit puberty and you're not gonna have like some mad orgies inside the Gryffindor place? Come on, bro. Come on, man. You know, like British people be like one of the horniest people on earth, and not everyone in Hogwarts ain't fucking. Come on, man. That's why Harry Potter ain't realistic, because all the wizards and witches be sterilized. They don't be showing their true like hot-blooded natures, bro. I think the writers for Netflix, they were really true to Geralt's character, and I think they did such a great job in portraying by casting like Henry Cavill as like Geralt. But I didn't appreciate the other casting for like Yennefer, and I think Siri was okay, but you know what I mean. What do you think about Disney Star Wars? Disney Star Wars is ass. That's all I'm gonna say, because like I don't think I'm gonna ever play this game if I start talking about Disney Star Wars. Disney Star Wars is ass. And on top of that, I'm even going to go one step further and say like the prequels that George Lucas made were trash. The only movies you should be ever watching about Star Wars is like Star Wars A New Hope, Empire Strikes Back, Return of the Jedi. And that's all you need to watch. And if you want to supplement that shit, you can supplement it with like, you know, a Clone Wars animation. But no, the rest of it is shit, you know? If I can go back in time and punch myself in the face before I went in that theater to watch, you know, Force Awakens, I would, bro. I would, you know? Helix says, who pressed the Star Wars button? It was Boombox, man. I got a few buttons you guys are not supposed to press. Pokemon Sword and Shield is the best advancement of the Pokemon series ever, man. You guys have no idea of the rage that's inside of me. The best book you read in your life was The Godfather. Man, if you guys are reading books instead of watching the movies, you guys are like full of shit, bro. There ain't no book that is better than the movie, right? Because like when you're like reading books, you're like, oh, I can only imagine how it is. Like if you watch a movie, you're actually seeing it happen. Movies are better than books. Changed my mind. The Legend of Drizzt series is great. Never heard of it. If there wasn't a video game of it, do you guys know why I'm so well versed in Greek and Roman mythology? That's because I play God of War. You know, I play as Kratos, and that interests me in like looking up like what's the story with Zeus, Athena. When I found out like how like ancient mythology was all about fucking, it was the best shit ever, man. Like Zeus is like the original playboy. Like he would literally fly into people's house and like disguise himself as like the lady's husband, and he will like smash. Once he like do the deed, he will like back out and he will transform back to Zeus, and he will be like, ah, I got you, bitch, and then he will fly away. That was how Zeus was back in the day, and that's like how like, you know, you get like Hercules. Hercules is like a half god, half human because Zeus was being a little hoe, right? Like Zeus like fucked his mom and that's how like Hercules was born. And Hera was like a piece of shit. Hera is like Zeus's wife and she was like really jealous about Hercules because she was like, yeah, you're my husband's love child. I ain't gonna make your life easy. And he put like Hercules in this like they gave him a lot of trials. They gave him a lot of missions. Like he had to do like A, B, C, D, E. And that's how he ascended to godhood once he completed that. What's wrong with reading books? You get more details within a book or every movie. But guys, reading books are weak, man. Reading books are weak. I said it. So that means it's true. You read at least 2 books a week nowadays, really? When there's Netflix, when there's YouTube, or there's my stream. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm not hating on books, man. I'm just like playing. And I used to read a lot of books. I used to read like Playboy. You know, the center spread is always like the best part of that book, man. I used to read like, what other books I used to read? Men's Health, PlayStation Magazine. I read a lot of books, baby. PLS is please. Come on, son. If you really read books, you would have typed please the full word. You wouldn't type abbreviations. Pace is the story's narrative flow. I know that. I know that. The pacing in all my Playboy magazines be tight. They always start out with like a little tease. And then they come up with the center spread. So I know what pacing's all about, bro. I'm sure you read Playboy for all the articles. Yeah, they got beautiful hearts and personalities. Don't hate, bro. Don't hate. Different strokes for different folks. This is Kaya right here. Hi, Kaya. Say hi to people. Okay, you wanna go down? It's Kaya, my cat. Alright, let me take you outside. Okay.